That's right. Tell the truth, people. The people that know it, they have it in their back pocket. Free energy exists, and the world leaders don't want to share. Tell the truth, people. Get it out to the world. Let's get to the next caller. Thanks for holding on, everybody. Area code 586. You're live, third phase of moon. Tell us your name. Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing? My name's Teresa. I'm calling from Michigan.
Teresa, doing good tonight. How about yourself? Where are you calling from, Teresa?
I'm calling from Michigan.
Well, we just, Michigan's like the top 5 hotspot of UFOs going on right now as far as the reports over the last year. I think almost over 3,000 plus UFO sightings right there in Michigan. Have you witnessed a UFO out there?
Yes, I've witnessed a couple here. I've witnessed a couple. There was one, I was coming up along the lake. I live along one of the lakes. It's kind of late at night, and all of a sudden this red light just started coming towards me out of the sky. Like, I thought, oh my God, what the hell is that? It was coming at me so fast, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. And I stopped on the street. It's not a real busy one. It was late at night. I just stopped because I'm like, what the heck is that? And I looked up, and I could see a couple of lights connected to each other. And I kind of looked around to see if there was anybody out or anybody else observing what I was observing, because as I continued to look at it further, I saw probably about 8 or 9 lights connected together. And I'm like, this thing is huge. It was hovering just above the tree line. So I looked around, and all I saw was the bunnies. There was bunny rabbits out eating, and they didn't seem to be bothered by it. So I decided I was going to get out of my car and kind of take a better look at it to get away from the trees to see if I could see it. And all of a sudden, it just took off. It went across the sky like faster than I've ever seen. So I got home, and I got online, and I started looking right away on YouTube to see if anybody else in Michigan had reported it. And it actually was reported all over. There were like live sightings. People were taking videos of it. And it was going everywhere from Chicago, and they were reporting it over in London, the same structure.
Wow. So it had a structure. What exactly would you compare it to?
I don't know what to compare it to, because like I said, it was like I could see the structure connected with the lights, and at first I thought it was like 8 lights connected, but as it took off, I realized it was a huge ship. It was probably maybe 15 or 16 lights connected. It was big.
How big would you say?
God, I'm going to say at least a half a block to a couple of blocks long. I mean, it was huge. It was so big that that's why I got out of my car, so I could look at it. It was like the further I could look, the further I could see that this thing was just connected. And I didn't feel anything from it. Like, I wasn't feeling threatened. I felt real peaceful with it. I thought, hey, cool, thanks for letting me check you out. And I could see, like, the steel structure, but like I said, you couldn't see a lot of it because there was that tree line there. And I was able to probably view it better when I got onto YouTube to see what other people had posted around this area.
So you're on the YouTube, when you're searching in your area that night, was there any videos that were posted? Did you come to your mind to maybe I should start filming this?
No, I didn't even think about it. I was just so amazed by it. Maybe the next time I will. I was just so amazed by the presence, the peace. There was no sound. But like I said, it came at me with that light. And yeah, people had posted videos all over. Like just as I had seen it and reported it, it seemed like other people were doing it. So as it traveled west, I believe towards the Chicago area, everybody was posting videos for like hours. That's how I knew where it was going.
It was basically you're tracking it in real time. This massive.
Yeah, I was tracking it real through YouTube. far as I could. I could track it.
You say this craft was approximately maybe 2 to 3 football fields in length?
No, I wouldn't say that much because that's like 1,000 yards. Or 100 yards. I'd say probably about 50 yards that I could see one way going north and south. I couldn't necessarily see the east and west length of it. That's where it seemed to be very long. Very long.
Yeah, you know, could you tell us exactly what time of day it was? Was it dark outside?
It was dark. It was late at night. It was probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. There was nobody around because I looked around to see if there was anybody out on the street that was seeing this thing. And the only thing that was out were the bunny rabbits, and they didn't really seem to be bothered by it.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, maybe animals aren't threatened by this close encounter of the fourth kind. Or, you know, and you sounded like you weren't threatened by it in any way. Did you feel like there was some kind of presence? A lot of people have this euphoric feeling, obviously, when you see something for the first time, such as this sighting that you're explaining to us right now, describing. Incredible. And you felt comfortable around it.
It was just fun. It was just really a fun experience. I felt very comfortable. I did see one ship that was cloaked in storm clouds that I got a really negative feeling from, really negative, that I shut my back blinds and I basically sent it away with my mind and said, get out of my neighborhood. You're not allowed here. I could just feel the energy. So I could feel the difference. There's a definite difference between those two presents.
Well, there's some people that are, commenting right here on the Flash Chat Live. They're saying there's a lot of flying naval recon test flights on the lakes out there, and it could have been military. What would you have to say to that statement? What do you think? Military, extraterrestrial?
It could have been military. There is no doubt, because I know that the military possesses such technology, probably even far beyond the human capacity can even understand at this point in time. Could have been military. I didn't feel, the one that was peaceful, to me, I felt like that one could just come, it just came in and out through the dimensions. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. It was a dimensional thing. I don't think it was because as fast as it would come in, it'd come out and just show up at different places. I thought that was an interdimensional spaceship. The other spaceship that I saw that was cloaked in the clouds, like I said, I did not like that presence. I didn't feel that was military. I didn't feel that either of them were military. I live by the lake. I see what they do around here. I've seen everything. Neither of these felt military to me. I could be mistaken.
Teresa, let me get the exact, what was the date when this experience happened for you, the first one?
I'm going to say the first one was 2012. It was probably June. It was warm out. I remember that.
I think UFO sightings in that region just started to pick up since 2012. And like I was saying earlier, Michigan is this, new hot spot for UFO activity. Can I get a description of, you're saying craft, and it's hard to explain, was it disc shape or triangular in shape?
No. I would say it was more triangular, because like I said, and it was triangle upon triangle upon triangle built. That's how I could watch the lights. The one that came in through the clouds that I didn't get the good feeling about, that one was a disc shape.
Interesting. So did it make some kind of hostile maneuver? Or you just got this feeling like, oh, this is, I don't like this feeling. I feel like I'm being watched.
Yeah, I didn't get a good feeling at all. That's why I sent it away with my mind. I'm like, oh, you better get out of here. Don't like you. The other one, I got out of my car. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, let's look at this. It was two different feelings and two different expressions completely. And the one that was cloaked in the storm, I have a friend that lives over the lake in Canada. And I actually was talking to her. It was on a blog talk show. And I said, you got a storm heading your way plus an extra surprise. And probably a couple hours later, she contacted me, and she said, are you talking about that ship, the one that was cloaked? And I said, you saw it too? And she said, yeah, it came right over here. And I said, so what was your feeling? She's like, not good at all. Because the storm was heading from west to east, so it was going over to Canada. She just lives directly across from me on the lake. So it was interesting that she had saw the same thing and that she had gotten the same feeling. There's been a lot. I've looked at a couple of videos. There are some guys out on the water that basically saw some of the lights that I saw, and they filmed it. It was Lake St. Clair, and I think that was like 2012. I'm like, yeah, I've seen those lights. Now, for me, what I viewed with them, I thought what they were viewing was more military.
So let me get into a little bit more detail. Teresa, I appreciate the details and calling in to Third Phase. Incredible insight. Let me ask you, when you say it's cloaked, how can you tell if it's cloaked? Is it kind of like knocking out the stars? Is something's kind of passing over? Is it bending light?
I say it was cloaked in the clouds. It was cloaked in a storm cloud. It was like came out of a storm cloud because there was a storm coming in the cloud. I was just watching these clouds because they just looked ominous to me. And then when I watched it all happen, I said to myself, I'm like, that ship just came out of another dimension, and I don't like it. I mean, it was just bing, bang, boom. There was no even thinking about it. As soon as I saw it, because I love to watch storms come in, and as soon as I saw this thing come out of a producing storm cloud, I was like, oh, that's bad news.
I don't know how many videos we have in the archive of incredible cloud formations, weather activity, when there's some kind of weather phenomenon, weather patterns, storms, hurricanes, tornadoes. It seems like there's a lot of UFO activity around it. It seems like some people claim, and I believe it, that there's a lot of energy in these clouds and tornadoes that could be harnessed, and they also make for good hiding places. What best place to hide is right in a big cloud formation or a storm, and they could definitely handle that kind of weather activity. Teresa, incredible insight again. Is there anything you want to tell our Third Phase of Moon viewers? We've got a few minutes left. I appreciate you sharing your stories and sightings.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd call in and I thought, well, I wonder if these are even fun stories, but both my experiences. No, I appreciate the time and everybody listening.
Well, Teresa, that's what it's all about. That's what we want right here at Third Phase of Moon. We want to hear people's stories. It's so genuine when people call in and share it. That's what Third Phase of Moon's all about. We're going to be back next week, Friday, and time has changed because the daylight savings has kicked in for the major part of the United States. So right now on the East Coast, now it's changed over to 12 a.m. in the morning and 9 p.m. on the West Coast. So everybody, Third Phase of Moon will be standing by, taking your calls from around the world. Teresa, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
That's right, everybody. Next week, Friday, we'll be standing by like Teresa just did. Share your stories. You never know what could happen. Insight, collaboration, people from the area witness the same things. Never know what could come of it. New details into Hangar 52, the movie, next week. Exclusive details on when and how you could watch Hangar 52. We're not alone. Blake Cousins, everybody. Keep your eyes on the skies. We're not alone. We'll see everybody again next time.